I'm going to demonstrate for you the example of how to create a graph in Google Sheets. So the first thing we're going to do is copy our data table from here to a new Google Sheets. So I'm going to go ahead and highlight my data. And then on your keypad, go ahead and do copy. So Control C, and then directly paste your data onto your Google Sheets. So when I paste my data over before I click Insert Chart, I want to make sure that my data is highlighted. So make sure you highlight your data and only the data that is relevant. Then I'm going to go to where it says Insert and click Chart. So once I have my chart here, I can see that the title is not relevant. There's no labels on your vertical axis for your dependent variable and no labels for your x-axis, your independent variable. So how to do that is, first of all, I'm going to check that the graph is correct. So if I'm trying to plot the different weeks of pregnancy and the weight gain of the mother and fetus, I want to see change over time. So line chart will give you change over time. If I wanted to change it to a bar graph, that's comparing the data for each week. And we don't want to do that because in context of this question, this is saying how does the weight gain of a mother and fetus change and differ over time? So I'm going to go back here, set up, change it back to a line graph. Then I'm going to go to where it says customize, and this is where you're going to change your titles. For your chart title, I want to make it relevant to the question. So the question's asking, how does the weight gain of mother and fetus change over time? So I'm going to go ahead and write down weight gain over time of mother and fetus. Sorry. And then you can kind of customize it. I like to do centered. I also like to change the text, but up to you, whatever you want to do here. Then I'm going to look at the independent variable on your x-axis and your dependent variable. So here, 8 doesn't represent our independent variable. So what I'm going to go is go over here and click horizontal axis title. I'm going to change that to weeks of pregnancy because we are looking at the different weeks of pregnancy. And now that my independent variable is labeled, I'm going to label my dependent variable. So I'm going to go to where it says vertical axis title. What does this represent? So you can see here that we're showing the weight gain of the mother and the fetus in kilograms. So I'm going to write down weight gain in kilograms. So make sure if there's a unit on your dependent variable, you include that in parentheses. Then the last thing I'm going to change is this 1.5 and dash dash doesn't mean anything. The blue line here represents the data from the mother, and the red line here represents the weight gain of the data from the fetus. So I'm going to go over here, double click on here, and then I can change my text label to say mother and fetus. So just like that, now that my graph is good, I'm going to go to the three dots here, copy my chart, and paste it directly into your document, which I already have pasted here. All right.